Buddham 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 Vande Dhammang 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 Vande Sangham 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 Vande Buddham Dhammang Sangham Vande Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Upaniyati loko andhuo attano loko anabissaro assako loko sambang pahaya gamaniyam uno loko atitto tanha daso. Homage to the Exalted One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear friends in Dhamma, all of you are warmly welcome. After the sitting meditation, we usually have a Dhamma discussion. There we explain the Buddhist path, the teachings of the Buddha, how we achieve the liberation or enlightenment. When we discuss Buddha's message, it has an order. It has an order. As we usually mentioned, that Buddha's message is like the ocean. Ocean deepens gradually. Buddha's message also like that. Little by little, it goes to the deeper level. According to our intention, dedication and wisdom, we can understand what he explained and we can practice according to our dedication, intention and wisdom. However, first of all, Buddha explains what are the things that we should practice to succeed this immediate life. One day, one of the householders came to Buddha. His name was Digajanapoliya. He asked the Buddha, Bhante, let me know please, what are the things, what are the qualities that we should practice to succeed this immediate life? There Buddha explained 4 kinds of things that we should fulfill to succeed this immediate life. First one is the Uttana Sampada, the accomplishment of dedication or energy or courage. Energy is the very first one. If we want to succeed something, first of all, we should study, we should learn hard, and also we should earn money. Therefore, education and economy. Even though we earn something, we should earn it righteously. That is very important. Buddha has said that right livelihood. If we want to earn something, we should earn it righteously. And education also very important. Knowledge is wealth. The more we are educated, the more we can earn money. That is very important. And also we should be aware of that our health. Health also is very important. Not only physical health, but Buddha has mentioned, Buddha has emphasized the importance of having mental health too. Both are very important. Energy is the first one. The second one, Arakta Sampada, protection. We should protect what we earned. It doesn't mean that we should not spend. We can spend according to our earning, but we should protect what we earned. That is also very important protection. What is the third one? Uttana sampada, arakka sampada. The third one is kalyana mittata, having good friends. That is also very important. Good friendship, noble association. Your friendship decides where you are going to, what you achieve. Therefore, association is very important according to what the Buddha taught. And also the fourth one, Uttana sampada, arakka sampada, kalyana mittata, samajivikata. It means balanced livelihood. Balanced livelihood. It means we should spend according to our income. We should have balanced income and expenditure. These four things are very important to succeed this immediate life. This is the Buddha's message. Any person who was born in this world who wants to succeed this life, if he wants to succeed this life without any differences in this world, we have to fulfill these areas. That is very important. Little by little we categorize something. Pranandu. Not we stay in the same situation. Day by day we develop it. That is why you have to come to the class continuously. If you miss one day, you miss a lot. And our friend Mr. Pranandu has been coming to the class more than 4 years, I think. He is from Brazil. He is one of my friends whom I met at the college. And also Buddha says what we should do to practice to achieve a blissful life. Buddhism says that not only we have a particular this immediate life, but we have a next life according to our actions or karmas. It doesn't mean that everyone should believe next life, but Buddha has emphasized the importance of doing some activities for the well-being of our life. And there, in the second level, according to what the Buddha taught, we should have a confidence in the confidence in the karma, karmic law. Have you heard about karmic law? Karma means actions and reactions. So every action has a reaction, and also according to our mental situation, what we do through our words, behavior and mind, we will have the same results. If our mind is polluted, if we do something with a polluted mind, wicked mind, physically, verbally or mentally, we will have negative results because of the pollution of mind. And also, if we do something with a pure mind, physically, verbally or mentally, we will have same results because of pure mind. In this situation, Buddha has explained the importance of practicing 3 meritorious deeds, 3 wholesome deeds. They are, what are the 3 wholesome deeds? What are the 3 meritorious deeds? Yes, generosity or dana, virtue or sila, and bhavana or meditation. Generosity, virtue and meditation. From the beginning to end, these three things should be developed little by little. How do we start generosity? If we have our parents, our children, our husbands and wives, we can offer something to them. That is also one of the generosities. And in the higher level, we can practice giving Dhamma. Sabbadanan Dhammadanan Dinati. Giving some advice to someone. The gift of Dhamma excels all other gifts. If you give something as food to someone, it is beneficial to 1 or 2 days. If you give a cloth to someone, it is beneficial for 1 or 2 years. If you give a job to someone, it is beneficial to him until he is retired. If you give a house to someone, it is beneficial for him until he will die. But if you give someone some advice or good advice, that is beneficial for him to his entire life, entire sansaric journey. That is why Buddha emphasizes the importance of giving Dhamma, Dhammadana, the gift of Dhamma. And here, that is the highest level. Sila means virtue, it means discipline in our speech and behavior. Especially, Buddhism says the importance of practicing 5 precepts. Abstaining from taking life, abstaining from stealing, abstaining from sexual misconduct, abstaining from false speech, abstaining from intoxicating drinks and drugs. If we can practice these 5 things, actually these are fundamental, primary human qualities. If we can practice these 5 qualities, 5 things, actually we can live everywhere in this world with anyone. We have no problems. If other people also practice these 3 things, we have no fear, no doubt about them. In the present society, everyone is afraid of their lives. They don't know when they will die. In this situation, if someone can practice these 5 qualities, actually everyone can live without fear and doubt in this universe. Then this world will be a pleasant place. Okay, when we go to the deeper level, we practice sila or virtue for the success of our spiritual life, for the success of our concentration and wisdom. The third one, bhavana. Bhavana starts purifying our mind, especially we purify our mind from anger. Anger is one of the main reasons that we suffer, that we have lost our inner peace. If we can overcome anger, actually we can overcome more than 50% stress from our mind. That is why in the world, a lot of psychiatrists recommend to practice loving kindness and mindfulness for stress management. They are the qualities, they are the techniques that psychiatrists have recommended to practice. Loving kindness and mindfulness. All people in the world who have mental problems, now they practice these qualities. Even though they are not Buddhists, actually these qualities doesn't belong to Buddhism. These qualities don't belong to Buddhism. These qualities belong to those who need a peaceful life. That is why at the beginning we should practice meditation. We should spread loving kindness, thinking thus, may all beings be well, happy and peaceful. As the result of practicing loving kindness, the highest quality that when we meet a person, we think that person like our son, like our only son or daughter. If we have this highest attitude, actually we have no problems with others. We don't criticize others. We don't have struggles with others. That is why Buddha always emphasizes the importance of practicing loving kindness. This is the second level. The third level. As the result of practicing these qualities, actually, we are ready to go to a blissful life hereafter, whether we believe or not. But results can be seen in this immediate life, whether we believe or not in next life. But he who practices these qualities can see the results in this immediate life. When you are generous, when you are compassionate, when you practice loving kindness, and when you have a good discipline, then in this immediate life you can see the results day by day. Day by day your inner peace increases. Day by day you are getting rid of suffering. This is the second level. What is the third one? When we go to the third level, we should have a special knowledge. What is that? The dependent origination, cause and effect, causality, or co-origination. Patisampada. The dependent origination is the most important doctrine in Buddhism. It means impermanence. Impermanence is the most valuable doctrine in Buddhism. What is the meaning of impermanence? In the primary level we say that if something changes, it is impermanence. Actually it is only a primary meaning. But when we go to the deeper level about impermanence in Buddhism, it has a deep meaning. The foundation of impermanence is that not being occurred comes to occurrence, being occurred will not go to occurrence. Ahutva sambhutang hutva nabhavisati. In this level, Buddhism directly explains the nature of our life, the absolute truth. This absolute truth doesn't belong to the conventional truth. You know, in the conventional truth, we usually say that if we see something, it was here before we seen. After we see something, it will remain. But when we go to this level, third level, absolute truth, whatever we experience through our senses, that experience arises at the moment. It didn't come to the present from the past, the present experience. And the present experience will not go to future from the present. Like this sound. Before you hear this sound was not here. After you heard this sound, it doesn't remain. It arises and ceases at the moment. The other thing is, because of these reasons, sound arises, but this sound doesn't belong to any reason. Our entire life is like that. Because of our eyes, intention, consciousness, and light, we can see the picture. We can see something, but these reasons don't belong to this experience. Because of my eyes, I can see you, but my seeing doesn't belong to my eye. This seeing doesn't belong to even my consciousness. But without any reason, this experience doesn't arise. This has a deep meaning. And also, if we see something, if we experience through some sense or sphere, we are unable to get that experience through other senses. For example, if you see something, you may think that you can feel it, you can touch it. Actually, we are unable to touch it. If we see something, it arises because of our eye. When you see this picture, you can see that picture through your eyes. When you go to touch it, you are unable to touch it. You can only experience the wall. Like that. I can see Mr. Shan through my eye. When I go to meet Mr. Shan, when I keep my hand in his body, I am unable to meet Shan. I meet four fundamental elements: solidity, liquidity, heat and motion. This is the truth. But I have created the person as Mr. Shan through my consciousness. That experience arises at the moment, it immediately ceases. For example, if there is a mirror here, when I go to in front of the mirror, I can see the mirror. I can see my reflection in the mirror. At the same time, if I see a picture of mine, I can see my picture. If I can watch some video clip with my photos, with my experience, then I can see the video there. I am here, my shadow is in the mirror, I have a picture here, I have something which is in the video with me. Where is me? Where is I? Where is I? In the mirror or here or in the video or in the photo? Where I am? Now if I suddenly die, now I am in front of the mirror. I die here, like this. Then where am I? You are looking at me. You are looking at me, you are looking at the mirror, you are looking at my video, you are looking at my picture. Sometimes you are listening to my voice in a recorder. Where I am? Actually, that experience in our mind. Mind is not alone. Mind is with other things too. That experience also arises at the moment. It was not in my mind continuously. That experience in mind also arises at the moment. Our whole experience also like that. When you think your son, when you think your mom, that is also like that. Even though your mom died, still your mind is in the, your mom is in the mind. Not only that, according to your intention, when you die, if you think your mom, suddenly your mom's experience comes to your mind, then according to your mental condition, you are going to near the mom. He is. That is the way how we are coming. We have been coming from the samsaric circle. If we can understand this reality in this present moment, we can overcome the samsaric circle. Not only that, we can overcome suffering. When you think something which happened in the past, suddenly your mind goes to past. Not only your mind goes to past, but your mind is fixed in the past experience, thinking thus, still it is happening. For example, if you think someone who has blamed you, as soon as you remember that person, what happens to you? Suddenly you may get angry if you are not mindful. That person has blamed you once, but your ignorance or delusion invites you to be blamed again and again. You are blamed again and again because of your ignorance. If you can remove this ignorance completely at the moment, you are able to overcome suffering completely. This is the path Buddha has explained for his entire life for 45 years. That is the summary of Buddhism. That is the thing day by day we discuss in a deeper level. Now we are going to discuss one of the discourses in Buddhism. It means Ratthapala Sutta. The discourse of Ratthapala. Ratthapala means a person, a householder's name in Buddha's time, who lived in Tullakottita. You know, in Buddha's time, Buddha went from town to town preaching Dhamma to the world. And meanwhile, one day, Buddha went to Tulla Kottita village. It is a village. And when Buddha preaches Dhamma, then people come to listening to Dhamma, and some people like to ordain, become a monk, and also some people practice Dhamma while they were spending a household life at home. However, when the Buddha was at Tulla Kottita, he was preaching the Dhamma, his doctrines, the Dhamma. There, Ratthapala, the only son of the leading clan, also came to visit the Buddha and listening to his teachings very faithfully, sitting in that assembly. Then the Brahmanas and householders of Tulla Kottita, having been instructed, urged, roused, and encouraged by the Blessed One's talk on Dhamma, delighted and rejoiced in his words. Rising from their seats, bowing down to him, they left. Meanwhile, Ratthapala was happy about Buddha's message, and he was so glad to practice it totally. He thought that it is not easy to practice the holy life totally perfect, totally pure, a polished shell living at home. Therefore, he decided to enter the community of monks and practice this valuable message as a monk. End of the sermon, that householder, Ratthapala, actually he was only son of his parents. His parents were millionaires, and he was only person of his family. And after the sermon, he went to the Buddha. He says, Bhante, I listening to your Dhamma faithfully. I decide that it is difficult to practice this Dhamma totally, completely as a lay person. Therefore, I decided to become a monk. What did Buddha say? Buddha says that is good, but you should get permission from your parents. That is an essential thing. When you become a monk, you should have permission of your parents. Then he said that hopefully he went home. And he asked his parents, I decided to become a monk. Please give me permission to become a monk. From householder life to homelessness. I want to go forth from household life into homelessness. But parents, they had only son. Did they like? No, they didn't like. This Ratthapala, the young person, Ratthapala, he asked 3 times, please give me permission to become a monk. 2nd time, 3rd time also. But his parents said that even after we die, we don't like to be separated from you. How do we get permission for you for a homeless life? Then, however, Ratthapala didn't give up his courage. Now he is ready to have a hunger strike. He refused everything, food and drink, and until having permission, now he is ready to spend a hunger strike. And he went one day, he went without food for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 6 days. He went without food for 7 days. Finally, he got permission. And because, parents thought that if they give permission to their son, then they can even see their son. If they don't give permission, they are unable to even see their son. Therefore, they give permission to their son to have a monk life, monkhood. Then he went to Buddha and he was ordained near the Buddha. And in Buddha's time, it is tradition that having instructions from the Buddha, disciples went to forest. They meditated, they practiced Dhamma, finally they attained enlightenment. That is the tradition in Buddha's time. And like that, now Bhante Ratthapala, now he is a monk, and he got instructions from the Buddha, near the Buddha, and he went to a forest. He practiced Dhamma, he meditated, and finally he could achieve his spiritual goal, enlightenment, arahantship. And after having results, he came back to the Buddha and he explained what he achieved. Then he wanted to go to see his parents. In Buddha's time, what is the way the monks saw their parents? If they want to see their parents, they begged food around the house, near the house. Then when parents come, they look at their face and they go slowly. They didn't enter the house. And that is the way that they saw their parents at that time. Like that, Bhante Ratthapala also begged food, having bowl in his hand. He begged food near the house, but his parents didn't recognize him. Not only they didn't recognize, but his father blamed him. This kind of person stole my son. He blamed roughly. And however, when he was begging, one of servants of the house recognized Bhante Ratthapala, and she told about him to his parents. Then suddenly they came out and they invited Bhante Ratthapala to come inside and have some food. But at that moment, Bhante Ratthapala had passed the house and he had gone to another house, and under a tree he had food. He told that, now today I am okay. I don't take any food today. If you invite me, I will come tomorrow. Then tomorrow he went his own house, and also having food, he preached Dhamma to his parents, and they thought that after the sermon he would stay house. But he didn't stay house, he came back. And also after having lunch, he went to a park of the king Koravya. There was a park near the place. The park belonged to the king Koravya. King Koravya knew that Bhante Ratthapala has come to the park. He needed to meet Reverend Ratthapala and to discuss with him. Then in the evening, King Koravya came to the Ratthapala, Bhante Ratthapala. And after he came, he respected Bhante Ratthapala, and having a seat nearby, he asked a question. That is very interesting. He asked that, Bhante, I have seen some monks, but there are some reasons why they enter the community of Sangha. There are 4 reasons why they became monks. According to his opinion, he says, I have seen some monks when they are at the old age. Because of their old age, they became monks. They are ordained. They were ordained. But you are not at the old age. You are so young. At the young age, why did you become a monk? He asked. Then next he asked that, I have seen monks who are ill, who are sick. Because of their sickness, they became monkhood. But you are healthy. You have no any sicknesses, diseases. What is the reason that you became a monk? even though you are very healthy. Next, he says that I have seen some monks who have no wealth, who are very poor. After they lost their everything, they become monkhood. They are ordained. But you are so healthy and wealthy. You are so wealthy. Your father is a millionaire in this country. In this situation, why did you become a monk? The king Koravi asks. Then again, he says, I have some monks who became monkhood after they lost their relatives and friends. When they are alone, they become the monkhood. They enter the community of monks. But you have a lot of relatives and friends having these facilities, having these wealth, health, relatives, and young age. What are the reasons that you became a monk? At the moment, Bhante Ratthapala says the reasons why he became a monk. He says, I heard something from the Buddha. That is why I became a monk. Here he says the reasons why he became a monk. There are 4 reasons he says here. Upaniyati loko adduo. Day by day we are going to old age. Attahano loko anabissaro. We have no shelter or protection. Astako loko sabban pahai gamaniyam. We have to give up everything. We have no ownership. We have to leave everything behind. And also finally he says, Uno loko atitto tanna daso. Everyone is unsatisfied. They never become satisfaction. They never become contentment. Until they die, they are unsatisfied. And also tanha daso. They are the slaves of craving. They are slaves to craving. These are the reasons why we became a monk. There are 4 reasons. Day by day, we are going to old age. Even though we are so young or strong, one day we will become old age. And also, Attanuloko anabissaro, we have no real shelter, protection. And also, Assako loko sabban pahai gamaniyam. We have no ownership. We have to give up everything one day with our physical body. And also, finally, Ratthapala says, one of the reasons, one of the Dhamma summaries that he became a monk is that Uno loko atito tanha daso. People have no satisfaction until they die. And also they are slaves to craving. That is why he became a monk. And now again he explains with details. Even though Ratthapala explained these 4 things in short, King Koravya couldn't understand that message. Then he asked again, Bhante Ratthapala, please explain me these things with details. Then, describing the first one, Bhante Ratthapala says that, great king, now you are so old. Now you are at the age of 80. When you were 20 or 25, what was your idea? What was your health? Then King Koravya says that when I was at 20 or 25, I was so strong. Even though I walk on the floor, on the earth, I thought that I am walking in the sky. I was so proud with my health. Then Bhante Ratthapala asked that, the great king, just now also do you feel that? No, Bhante, now. Now I am going having a stick. Now I don't have that strength. On those days, when I was walking, I think that I was walking in the sky. In some days, when we see some young people, you may say that they are flying. Like that. It's the same thing. Bhante Ratthapala says that is why I recognize, I listened from the Buddha this message. That is why before I become old age, I entered the community of the monks. The second thing, why he became a monk is that he says, Attahano loko anabissaro. There is no shelter, protection. Then Bhante Ratthapala asks a question from the king. He asks that the great king Kauravya, when you are sick, when you have a severe disease, a lot of ministers, queens, servants, and your relatives around you, when you are suffering with a severe disease, can you give your pain to them? You are the king. You have a lot of ministers, queens, laborers, servants, and relatives. Are you able to give your disease, give your pain to them? Bhante, I can't do it. Even though they are my servants, even though they are my ministers, they are not ready to get my disease, my pain. Even though they like, I can't give them. This is the nature of my life. And Ratthapala says, that is why I says you, Attano loko anabissaro. We have no real shelter for protection in this world. That is why we should find a spiritual teacher and his sublime truth. Next, in the third one, Astako loko sabban pahaya gamaniyam. We have no real ownership. Then Bhante Ratthapala asks that the great king Kauravya, one day you will die. After you die, if you come back to your palace, your house, if you ask your wealth from your relatives, are they ready to give you back? One day, if you die, if you come back to your house, your palace, if you ask them, please give me my kingdom, my wealth, my money, my wives, do they give you? No, Bhante, they are not ready to give me anything. Like we are. When you die, your relatives, your friends cry. Don't go away from here, they are crying. But if you say that, oh my dear friend, I don't go, I will come back, are they ready to accept you? No, they are not ready to accept you. They are not ready to give anything that you had. Until you die, they are with you. They come with you up to the cemetery, but no more. Then you have to go alone. That is the nature of our everything. And Bhante Ratthapala says, that is why the king, I heard from the Buddha that Attano loko anabissaro, Assako loko sabban, I have to give up everything one day. That is why I became a monk. in fourth one, Ratthapala asks that, Uno loko atitto tanha daso. The great King Koravya, now you are at the age of 80. If you are very close to die at the moment, one of your ministers who comes from the west direction, he says that the king, my dear king, there is a prosperous country in the west direction. You can take it, you can defeat that country. Not only from the western direction, but there is another minister who comes from eastern direction. The other minister comes from north direction. The other one comes from southern direction. There are 4 ministers who are coming from 4 directions. They say that there are 4 countries in 4 directions. The kings are very weak, but the country is very prosperous. Then what do you do? King Koravya says that before I die, I defeat those countries and also I conquer those countries to my country before I die. Uno loko atitto tannada. So we have no satisfaction until we die. That is why Ratthapala says, that is why I say atitto means not satisfied until we die. And tanha daso, we are slaves to craving. We are slaves to craving. That is why we need a spiritual teacher. That is why we need the sublime truth of a spiritual teacher. Then King Koravya was very happy with his sermon. Why he became a monk? These are the 4 reasons, 4 Dhamma summaries that he decided to become a monk. And finally, King Koravya worshipped and respected Bhante Ratthapala, and he went away. And why do you know why King Koravya came to meet Bhante Ratthapala? It has a secret. Yes? Yes, his parents had only son. His father was a millionaire. Now he knew that that monk didn't give up his robe. And he wanted to know that after his father died, the wealth whether comes to him. That is why he came and asked some questions. That is the secret. Actually, it was not here. He knew very well, in that time, not only in that time, even this time, if owners have no relatives and close relatives, then their property, their wealth goes to the government. And however, this sutta we can learn a very special lesson, and that in our life, why do we need a spiritual teacher? Why we need to develop our spirituality? Even though we have a lot of things in our life, even though we have the entire world, we are never satisfied. That is why, if we want to satisfied, you have to practice Dhamma. Buddha says, if someone can develop his mind with concentration, at the moment he is so happy, his happiness is better than, other realms like human realms and 6 heavenly realms. If someone can make a samadhi mind by practicing concentration meditation, that samatha happiness is better than all other lower realms, such as human realms and 6 heavenly realms. Whenever our mind is concentrated with samadhi, the happiness is in the higher realm, in the Brahma realm. having a human life physically, mentally, we can spend a Brahma life, Brahma realm. There are several stages in realms, lower realms, in hell realm, and human realm, heavenly realm, Brahma realm. Little by little it goes up. And now we are in the human realm. We have a lot of sufferings because of our human body. But if we can develop our mind, especially with concentration meditation, even though we have a lot of problems physically, but mentally we are healthy. Mentally we are very strong. If we are able to concentrate our mind at least 5 minutes per day, at that moment our happiness is better. Our happiness is more important. And that is why Buddha says, as a wise person, the highest qualities that we can practice are concentration and insight meditation. According to the discourse of Abhinya Sutta, Buddha says, our real success, our proficiency depends on concentration of our mind and contemplating on impermanence. The duration of our concentration with positive thought is like our GPA or IQ. If our duration of concentration is long, it means our GPA is very high, grade point average, and also IQ, intelligent quotient. Not only that, if we can reflect on impermanence, it means our EQ, emotional quotient, emotional intelligence, that is the best one. Now, previously some people may think that, might think that if their IQ is very high, they are successful. Now we have another thing, EQ, emotional intelligence. That is the highest quality if a person can develop. And according to Buddhism, the duration of concentration, reflecting, practicing loving kindness, breathing meditation, there are 40 meditation techniques. Using these techniques, if we can concentrate our mind in the present moment for a long time with positive thoughts, at the moment we have no physical sufferings, even mental sufferings. Because at the moment we have overcome 5 hindrances. By practicing concentration meditation, we trained our mind to overcome 5 hindrances. They are kama chanda, sensuous desire, and vyapada, ill will or anger, and thirdly, thena midda. It means sloth and torpor, uddacha kukucca, restlessness and scruples, and vicikicca, skeptical doubt. The more we reduce these hindrances, the more we are happy. At the moment we are no any sufferings, even mental sufferings. Physical sufferings we are easily overcome. And the first stage of practicing Dhamma by using concentration meditation is that reducing these 5 hindrances, especially lust and ill will. Lust and ill will are the main negative thoughts, defilements, evilism that disturb our peace of mind. If we are able to overcome lust and ill will, it means we are like Brahmas who are in the Brahma realm. Because our mind is so pure and calm at the moment. And not only we reduce anger and lust, but the main advice is Buddhism is that reducing ignorance or delusion. What is that? It means what happens to our life. Our entire life is these 6 senses and 6 external objects. Like eye, ear, nose, these are the senses, internal senses, and the 6 objects, forms, sounds, smells, like that. These 6 internal senses and 6 external objects are impermanent. What is the meaning of impermanence? Everything arises at the moment. They are not permanent. We think that this picture was here before I seen. But according to absolute truth, we see this experience. We experience this picture at the moment. At the moment, form arises, my I arises, and consciousness arises. They immediately arises, they immediately arise, they immediately cease because of our ignorance, delusion. Our delusion doesn't believe it. Our delusion says that after you experience, it remains. That is why when we think something, suddenly our mind goes to past and our mind is fixed in past experience. Then according to that experience, we have to suffer. If you are able to understand, as soon as you experience, if you know that this experience arises at the moment, your mind is not fixed anything nor anyone outside. Suddenly you look at inside. That is why finally, according to Buddha's message, we have to practice these qualities. What they are. Mindfulness and mindful meditation. It means mindfulness means keeping our attention in the present moment. Mindful meditation means reflecting on impermanence. These are important. Both of them are important because some people they may think that only mindfulness is described in Buddhism. No. Not only mindfulness Buddhism explains, but Buddhism explains mindful meditation too. Mindfulness means concentration meditation. Mindful meditation means insight meditation, vipassana bhavana. Keeping our attention in the present moment, reflecting on impermanence. Then we can experience anything, but all experiences like that. When we go to the mirror, the reflection arises at the moment. Immediately it ceases. That reflection doesn't belong to mirror, doesn't belong to my eye, doesn't belong to even this body too. Like that. When we see something, when we hear something, when we taste something, when we smell something, when we feel something, when we think something, all of those experiences arise at the moment. They immediately cease. If we have this understanding completely at the moment with mindfulness, we don't depend on anything nor anyone outside. That is the real freedom. Until we achieve this freedom, even though you have a free life, you are like in the prison because you depend on outside. Anybody or anyone, anything can control you. Even though you are in the prison, if you have realized this message and if you are in this reality with mindfulness, it means you are free, you have liberation. Physically you are in the prison, mentally you are in the park. And now even though we think that we are in a park, actually we are really in the prison. And day by day we should go forward towards the freedom. That is the path Buddha explained. When you achieve this liberation, you don't believe Buddha. You don't need to believe Buddha's message. The reason is that you have experience through your own experience. That is your own experience. Then you don't depend anything or anyone, even the Buddha. That is why in Buddha's time, when someone came to Buddha and listening to Dhamma, suddenly some people have achieved enlightenment. They left the Buddha. Even they didn't worship the Buddha. Buddha didn't need respect from them. And Buddha needed to get this message to them kindly. Then by listening to this discourse, we should understand the reality of our life. Upaniyati lokvaddu, day by day we are going to old age. When we are going to old age, if we depend on our body, we are suffering with our physical body. If we want to overcome the suffering of physical body, we have to realize this message, and we should keep our mind in mindfulness and mindful meditation. Not only that, the second one, Attano Lokvana Bissaro, we have no real protection or shelter in this world. Dhamma is the real protection, shelter. That is why Buddha says, Dhamma Deepa Bhikkhave Viharata Dhamma Saranana Anya Sarana. Dwell with Dhamma as an island, as a refuge, with no other refuge. Assako Loko Sabban Pahai Gamaninya, one day you have to give up everything, you have to remove everything what you have, even your physical body. At the moment, the real protection, real refuge for you is that what you practiced, how you developed your mind, what you cultivated your mind. And also the fourth one, Uno lokvatito tanada. So we have no satisfaction until we die, even though we receive the entire world. If you want to achieve the satisfaction, we should purify our mind from negative thoughts. Especially we have to overcome ignorance. If we are able to remove delusion or ignorance completely, that is the real satisfaction in our life. Then we are filled with satisfaction. And then we are not slaves to crave. And this is the path that Buddha explained. Have any question? This is the Ratthapala Sutta. Actually, before 4 years ago, we discussed this same Sutta. 2015, in the same month, September, we discussed the same Sutta. I think Prando was also there. Okay, thank you. Your good attention. And practicing Dhamma is the way how we get the results through our life. And the main thing that we should do is to develop our happiness, is that purifying our mind. We are always suffering with lust, anger and delusion. If we can overcome these negative thoughts from our mind, actually this is the real way that we can give a value to our life. We should develop the value of our life. The value of our life depends on not only that we earned, that we learned, that we earned, but how much, how far we have purified our mind. If we can purify our mind from negative thoughts maximum level, then we don't depend on anything or anyone outside. Even we don't depend on our physical body, own physical body. When our physical body is going to sicknesses, old age, death, we are not suffering, because we completely depend on our wisdom. That is the path that Buddha explained for his entire life for 45 years. And he kindly encouraged us to go forward on this path, because he had developed his compassion and loving kindness to the maximum level. He knew that people in the world are suffering because of their ignorance. If we can develop, if we can remove our ignorance or delusion, that is the way that we can overcome suffering. Okay, thank you for your good attention and participation. By the power of these meritorious deeds that we acquired here, may our departed relatives also receive these meritorious thoughts. May they enhance their spiritual energy, may they have a better life, and finally may they also attain the final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's share these merits with our departed relatives. Idamme ñātīnaṃ hotu sukitā hontu ñātayo. Idamme ñātīnaṃ hotu sukitā hontu. Idamme ñātīnaṃ hotu sukitā hontu ñātayo. By the power of all these meritorious thoughts, may guardian deities and angels also receive this spiritual energy. May they enhance their divine energy. May they keep their eye on you too. May they also attain the final bliss of Nibbana. With that intention, let's share these merits with guardian deities and angels too. Ākāsattā ca bhummattā devā nāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkhantu sāsanam. Ākāsattā ca bhummattā devā nāgā puññantaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkhantu desanam. Ākāsattā ca bhummattā devā nāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkhantu taṃ sadā. By the power of all these meritorious deeds, you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no problems come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May your all righteous wishes meet with success. Finally, may all of us attain the final bliss of liberation, Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu. Dukkhaṃ pantā ca niddukkhaṃ bhayaṃ pantā ca nibbhayaṃ sokaṃ pantā ca nissokāṃ hontu sammē pipānino. May the triple gem bless you.